Hey there guys, how are you? Welcome back to another awesome video. It's time for another movie review. Today's movie review is going to be on the movie Nightcrawler. And Nightcrawler, well, before I talk about the movie, I'm not talking about the Marvel character Nightcrawler, just so I get that out of the way because some people might be a bit confused. I don't know if people know who Nightcrawler is from X-Men, but in case you do, it's not that Nightcrawler. I wish it was, but it's not that Nightcrawler. But this Nightcrawler, this movie about Nightcrawler, called Nightcrawler, is about a guy named Louis Bloom, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. He is basically kind of just like your average Joe, kind of like just trying to find a job, trying to find work, something that he could be passionate about, and finds out that his passion is through making film, recording stuff, being the cameraman, being a producer, being the sort of backstage, behind the scene kind of guy, pulling the strings sort of situation. So he decides he wants to go into news. He wants to do the news, broadcasting, stuff like that. And the thing with this movie is he kind of will do whatever it takes to have his job. Let's just say it at best. Because with a guy like this, yeah, he's relatable because he's just an average dude just trying to make money. But the things and the distances he'll go and push in order to succeed and get his job are insane a little bit. Now, I'm not familiar with the director exactly who made this movie, but I gotta say, great writing. Definitely great writing. Well acted. Definitely the cameras, like the camera shot, the angles, the cinematography is definitely excellent. The editing is good. All that is just a well done movie. I heard this was a movie that I don't know if this got nominated or if this was Oscar worthy, but this was definitely a big praise during back in 2014 when this movie came out, for like 5 years ago. The fact of this was well received. A lot of people said this was their favorite movie of 2014. I didn't get that opportunity to see Nightcrawler when it came out in 2014, so I'd have to say if it was like same, if I went back, maybe did like my best favorite movies of like 2014, I'd say Nightcrawler is a good honorable mention without a doubt. So if that maybe gives you an idea of things, but still this was well given because the fact that the writing's really good, the editing is well paced. The movie's pretty good pace, not just the editing, but just altogether is goodly paced. The shots that are used, the camera angles in this sort of thing look well done and definitely have a nice taste to it. Like sort of like really interesting shots. So you'll literally get a shot of like the camera will have a shot of the camera that say our main lead, our main character, Louis Bloom or Lou Bloom, whatever he decides to be called by. Lou's obviously short for Louis, so Louis Bloom. So the camera will be like shot literally where the actual video camera that Louis is holding, like that sort of like that sort of POV, that sort of like right angle, sort of like technicality, sort of like arch to it, edge, angle to it is fantastic. Like those little things like that, the way they look at the camera, the way they have like it sort of well zoomed, the zooms, the close-ups are really well, really nice with especially the quality. It's fantastic. Obviously besides the fact that the writing is good, it's well delivered by Jake Gyllenhaal. And I kind of want to say something a little bit funny about Jake Gyllenhaal's character a little bit. I don't know why, but maybe it's because I have this planted in my head because if I could picture this and envision this character, but the way this sort of average Joe kind of dude kind of feels like the way Jake Gyllenhaal plays, how sort of like he tends to be very like he's very fast spoken, he's very intelligent, but he's also like he's very like risky, he's very ballsy in terms of what he says and what he does. And not only that, but how kind of sort of psychotic this dude is. I couldn't help but think in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, this feels like a pretty good Joker origin story. I'm not gonna lie. Just an average Joe just kind of finding work, and he has a passion for trying to basically do this sort of thing, even if it means murdering someone. He doesn't murder anybody. I mean, we don't see Louis Bloom ever murder a person, but the idea of that he's going these distances just to get the right shots of people, like murders, kidnaps, raids, robberies, stuff like that. Sort of like the not a lot of daytime news. You'd get so a lot of more like the stuff like on the news that where the news anchors would have to say viewer discretion advised on the sort of like the content or the brutalities or anything involving like maybe someone got into a bad car crash and you could see like the face is kind of like really dripped in blood and bashed in the face or something. Like very brutal stuff. And it's that brutal stuff that no matter how brutal it is, no matter how like illegal or illegal it is, this guy will go that distance and say, you know what, I don't care sort of thing. I will do it. And even if it means like even if it means he sees a not a but let's say he sees like maybe a cameraman, or he sees like a fellow camera guy and that camera guy got in the accident, he's now just basically news to him. Doesn't matter what that meant to him. Doesn't matter who that person was. He's now going to be on the news. And so because you have, what is his name? Ahmed, his like kind of like co-star, I guess, his intern guy sort of dude, winds up getting murdered and gets shot and stabbed and whatever, something happens to him. And there he is lying on the ground and he's kind of like looking at him like, I'm sorry, dude, but you're fucked up. And then Lewis is just kind of like, this is my job, honestly. It's just business. Look, if this is going to happen to you, you're going to become a part of the news. You're going to be a part of my footage and all this other stuff. And at this point, whatever like connections we had, whether it's a friendship or a business sort of relationship or whatever, that's going to be just kind of like, okay, just has to be whatever it was. So my point is I'm trying to make is that this kind of guy sounds like the type of person the Joker would be or would have been before he became the Joker. And no, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and this sort of thing, but I feel like there is that sort of like average Joe sort of thing, because Louis Bloom, Arthur Fleck, those seem like just random people that are just twisted in the head and just kind of got stuff going on that makes them think the way they do. So I'm not trying to tie this to the Joker in any way possible, but it's just kind of a bit coincidental how much people look at this movie and think, you know what, Jake Gyllenhaal could make a great Joker. No, I'm not saying let's replace Joaquin Phoenix. I'm thinking maybe let's replace Jared Leto. I mean, I've never established this on this channel, but I mean, we'll have to cross that path when I review Suicide Squad, and we have to actually sit down and watch it, and you guys get an idea of my opinion about it. But without going into too much detail with everything and getting sidetracked, I do want to give Leto some decency, but at the same time, he's stuck in a sandwich, as people refer to it as, because you have a great performance, a fantastic, phenomenal performance that was Heath Ledger, and then now you've got this upcoming phenomenal performance that Joaquin Phoenix looks like he's going to really give it all, and you got Jared Leto that's right here, and he's just kind of like in the middle of this sort of like, I don't have that much going on for me. Sorry about that, people. Okay. I'm good. Damn it. Okay. Better. But maybe it's because the way Gyllenhaal delivers a character like this does feel like someone the Joker would have been in the past. It's because how quick-paced he is. The one-liners he says, not the one-liners, but the way he delivers the lines so fast, how quick-witted he sounds, how intelligent he sounds, and everything. I think Jake Gyllenhaal kind of really brings this sort of character together. And Jake Gyllenhaal is really a great actor. When you look at when you look at movies like this, you look at Donnie Darko, you look at Southpaw. I loved him. I loved him in Donnie Darko. I will give him credit for Southpaw. I loved it. I recently, a while back, saw him do the movie Stronger. That was really not groundbreaking, but it was really interesting and emotional. Phenomenal, freaking fucking awesome as Mysterio. So we'll leave it at that as one thing. He's great in Zodiac. What's the other movie I know? That's all I can think of off the top of my head. Point is, Gyllenhaal's got a good career record with filmography. He's got a good filmography, Prisoners, stuff like that. So to expect a performance like this from Gyllenhaal is expected, but still was a good surprise. And even the supporting roles are good. I think that Riz Ahmed guy, I'm only familiar with him because he was in Rogue One, and he was that guy who said I'm the pilot like throughout the entire movie, and he was Riot from Venom, which let's not talk about Riot right now. So yeah, but in a way, I want to go back to Bloom for a second, Gyllenhaal's character, and say, although he is crazy and some people might not like what he does, he's an artist. In his eyes, he's passionate about his camera work, and even if it is risky, ballsy, like screwed up stuff he'll do, he's an artist. I'm not saying that. I'm not promoting that sort of thing. I'm not trying to promote that whatsoever. But for a character like this who's willing to go to distance, even if it means even if it means looking at the very squeamish of stuff, even if you're not squeamish, I guess it's something. But some people perceive artists in many different ways. I try to see myself as an artist at times, especially with my opinions on whether it's films or just with things in general. Whether it's a movie, a show, video game, any situation, I try to have my own opinions. I try and be passionate about that. I used to consider myself an actual artist. I used to draw. I don't draw as much, but I used to. I might still, but we'll see. Point is, I consider myself an artist in that sort of area. I consider myself an artist in terms of trying to make movies. I haven't gotten obviously, I'm only 17, going to be 18 years old. Haven't made a single movie yet. I haven't done short films or anything like that. I used to when I went to a school that was a technical high school that I shot movies, shot short films and stuff like that for the class. That's the only films I've done. But like putting them out there for the Sunset Film Festivals and all this sort of thing. And this movie does feel like a movie that belongs in a Sunset Film Festival. And I guarantee you this movie probably went to a film festival and probably was like, you know what, it deserves a full feature-length theatrical release. So that's what they did, I feel like. I don't know if that's true. You guys can fact check me on that. So there's that. So even though I may not be shooting movies now, I will be wanting to be a film director. That's what I want to do as a career. This is going to be a fun little passionate piece. This is not going to be unfortunately, this is not going to be a permanent thing. This will be a fun little thing I can do for a good amount of who knows how long. But my main goal, my main career is going to be film. But even just the writing process of scripting my ideas makes me feel like an artist, makes me feel passionate and not confident in myself, trying to make myself do like fix writing, trying to deliver, like make the characters good, the dialogue, the writing, the comedy, whatever it is, trying to envision the cast, envision the angles, the wide shots, the backgrounds, the foregrounds, all these sort of things that come together. Even this right here that I'm looking at, the camera here, I try and make good shots out of. And obviously with this movie, the one thing that kind of became very, I don't know about iconic, but kind of became a thing that people sort of recognize with this movie is the phrase steady hands, no zooms, no pans, but mainly the steady hands. Got to keep those steady hands on the camera, you know? It's a funny line, but it's delivered with such stern and with such demeanor and demandingness that you kind of see that it all takes steady hands to kind of keep your camera from shaking, because shaky cam is just very shitty, and no one likes shaky cam. Because if I were to shake this cam, everyone would hate the quality and hate the angle. Keep it on a straight, maybe flat surface, maybe somewhere higher, maybe somewhere lower, depending on where it is. Maybe it needs adjusted in this angle, that angle, trying to change it this side here, maybe try and get a shot like this. A lot of those things do relate with this movie and relate with what I'm trying to say. So there's that part of being an artist. And I forgot a second, but yeah, but I'm considering myself an artist, so sure, there's an extent to some things, but that character considers himself an artist. The supporting cast is good. I think Renee Russo is in this movie. She's like the news anchor, what is it? A female anchor. What do they call that? Not an anchoress. That doesn't sound like a word at all. Just a news anchor. I think they just call women anchors, anchor women, anchor men. I think, I'm not sure. I know there's like a technicality around it, but I think it's just anchor person or anchor. Not saying a specific gender, so that way it belongs to both male and female, but she plays that sort of person, and then Gyllenhaal's character tries and like have like a business relationship with her, but also a like relationship, like a actual emotional sexual relationship, to sort of like. And he kind of gets a little ballsy with that too, which is surprising with the way he delivers those lines. But it's just all comes together pretty good. Whatchamacallit, I totally forgot what I was going to say. You know what? Fuck it, honestly. I forgot. So, I'm just going to keep rolling with it. But not really that much I could say, to be honest. If there's anything I could say that's bad, not too much. I mean, sure, there's not a lot of action, but it's not meant to be an action movie. It's more along the lines of kind of like this, kind of feels like a suspense, maybe kind of like a drama sort of thing. Maybe there's a bit of few like lighthearted notes here and there to kind of make you chuckle, especially with Gyllenhaal kind of cracking lines, maybe makes a joke about somebody. So there's that, but it doesn't feel like it needs to be an action movie. And and even with a movie like this that just kind of builds up a little, doesn't need to have an action sequence to keep things like interesting. You can have dialogue and characters without having there be and if it's an unnecessary action movie, you don't need action to kind of keep it entertaining. Even if you take away the action from all this, it's still a good movie. But there's obviously the suspenseful chase scenes and stuff like that. There's good shots of the chase sequences, not the robberies, but the murders and stuff like that. How sort of like the makeup and graphic it can get. Bill Paxton is a good supporting role. Rest in peace, there, buddy. You'll still be Hudson in our hearts for us Alien fans out there. And underrated performance, Predator 2, and that's it, I think. But rest in peace, there, buddy. So there's that. But all in all, pretty good movie. Not as like very hypeful, not as very and not like as big as like your big blockbuster movies, but this is kind of like an art piece. This feels like a very like artsy movie a little bit in some cases, with whether it's its message, whether it's its characters, whether it's whatever it may be. It's going to appeal to someone. It's going to appeal to maybe someone like my demographic, maybe someone older, maybe someone young. I doubt there's going to be one to be younger, because this is an R-rated movie. So unless, well, I don't know. I've heard weirder, but definitely going to give this movie an A. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of this movie? If you've seen it, if you've not, I think you should check it out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please smash that button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day from now a week. If you want to check out my last video, I'm trying to get back into business with my reviews, with top 10 videos, and also the other videos I'm gonna try and make. You could check out my last review of which was Back to the Future, a more I don't know. I don't know what to say. There's definitely a different tone in that movie compared to this one. A lot more fun, more reference and stuff like that, compared to something this more darker sort of thing. So with that being said, I'm going to try and get back in the swing of things. Bear with me as always. Like I always say, bear with me when it comes to like my videos. I try and put them out as much as I can, as much as possible. So I'm going to try and put out more. So with this possibility happening, like trying to get back into my channel, we were trying to do J&T Incorporated videos. We're trying to do other stuff. I'm going to try and do new things along the way. Like with maybe I'll eventually get into doing gaming again. I don't know if I'll do it like this, but maybe unless we turn into a bad quality video series, then other than that, I don't know. It might take a while until we get into a gaming series, but still, like on my channel, but expect a lot of bad qualities and other good quality videos and streams and stuff like that over on J&T Incorporated. Expect reviews, some top 10s this coming month. I'm going to put this out there. I forgot to say this in my last video, but I'm going to mention this here that I'm open to the idea of maybe doing Q&As. So if you guys want to leave questions, comments, concerns, anything like that for a Q&A, let me know. And if you guys are interested in Q&A, I'll be happy to do so. I'm not sure if a lot of people would be aware of this, but just in case, I'm going to put this out there. I might start doing collabs, but they won't just be of J&T Incorporated. I might start doing other collabs with people that I know and everything. And if I could get a hold of, I know someone that literally not only is he associated with J&T Incorporated, but he's reached out to me and said we should maybe do a collab on a movie review. I'm down for that. And I know, and some people might know who this is, some people might not, but I'm just going to say it. Kal-El, Brandon, I'm not going to say the movie just yet, but the movie he suggested to me, I can't wait for. I'm excited. This is going to be interesting. I'm hyping it up because I've actually never got the chance to see this movie, and I've heard how much people love this movie and how much people it's kind of become a cult following almost, kind of in the, well, maybe this is a hint, maybe this isn't a hint, kind of like how much people, like, I don't know if it's a cult following or if it's a guilty pleasure or just it's a treasured film, but this movie that I'm talking about, that I'm going to be collabing with Kal-El, aka Brandon, kind of has the same, I feel like in my opinion, has the same equivalency to how much people love The Labyrinth. If that makes any sense to you guys, yay, nay, I don't know, but I'm excited a little bit. This is definitely going to be interesting. I'm kind of this movie that we're going to collab on has a lot of practical effects. I'm a sucker for practical effects. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't mind CGI as long as it looks good, the motion capture, stuff like that, as long as they look good. But looking at older movies and seeing practical effects like the prosthetics, makeup, stuff like that, always I'm a big fan of. So this movie that we'll be reviewing, we'll collab on, definitely is going to have a lot of practical effects and a lot of prosthetics and everything, and has definitely kind of gotten a lot more, not praise, but has gotten a lot more attention with sort of some things it's gotten in comics, and then it's got its own Netflix show. So we'll talk more about that on that collab video. I'm not sure when that will happen, but I'm just putting that out there because it literally happened. Brandon dropped this literally kind of after my review in the comments of Back to the Future, but can't wait to do that. More updates, more things associated with movie news, more top 10s, more movie reviews, more fun stuff like that. New fun things to expect and to explore on this channel and more. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.